The Titanic, a name that has become synonymous with both grandeur and tragedy. It was a majestic ship, touted as unsinkable, yet it met its untimely demise on that fateful night of April 15, 1912. Hello viewers and welcome to our channel. Today, in this video we will discuss about Titanic Disaster. What actually happened? So without further ado, let's dive into the video and subscribe the channel. The Titanic disaster was a maritime disaster that occurred in the North Atlantic Ocean in the early morning hours of April 15, 1912, when the British passenger liner RMS Titanic struck an iceberg and sank. There were an estimated 2,224 passengers and crew aboard the ship, and more than 1,500 died, making it one of the deadliest commercial peacetime maritime disasters in modern history. The maiden voyage of the Titanic began on April 10, 1912 from Southampton, England. She made stops in Cherbourg, France and Queenstown, Ireland before setting sail towards her final destination, New York City. Little did they know that this magnificent vessel would soon become synonymous with tragedy. But more on that later. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into what unfolded on that fateful night aboard the unsinkable ship known as the Titanic. The events of the night of the disaster. The events of the night of the Titanic disaster were nothing short of tragic and heartbreaking. On that fateful night of April 14, 1912, the unsinkable ship collided with an iceberg in the icy waters of the North Atlantic Ocean. It was a clear and calm night, but little did anyone on board know what was about to unfold. As the ship struck the iceberg, it caused extensive damage to its hull. The crew quickly realized that they were facing a dire situation. Panic ensued as passengers rushed to lifeboats, desperately trying to find safety amidst chaos and confusion. Unfortunately, there were not enough lifeboats for everyone on board. This led to a devastating loss of life, as many people were left stranded on the sinking ship or forced into freezing cold water. The cries for help echoed through the darkness as families were torn apart and hopes shattered. Rescue efforts began soon after distress signals were sent out from aboard Titanic. Nearby ships responded swiftly to assist those in need, but unfortunately, their arrival came too late for many. Only a fraction of those on board survived this horrific tragedy. The events that unfolded that night serve as a haunting reminder of both humanity's resilience and its capacity for tragedy. The stories of heroism displayed by some individuals who sacrificed their own lives to save others are testament to our innate desire for survival against all odds. Cause of the sinking. The immediate cause of the sinking was a collision with an iceberg that caused the ship's hull plates to buckle inwards along her starboard side and opened 5 of her 16 watertight compartments to the sea. The ship gradually filled with water and sank. However, there were a number of other factors that contributed to the disaster, including the ship's speed. Titanic was traveling at a speed of 22 knots, 41 kilometers/8, when she struck the iceberg, which was faster than she could safely navigate in icy waters. The lack of lifeboats. Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, which was far fewer than the number required by the Board of Trade regulations for ships of her size. This was because the ship's designers and operators believed that she was unsinkable and that the lifeboats would only be needed in the event of a minor collision. The poor navigation. The lookouts on Titanic did not see the iceberg until it was too late. This was partly due to the fact that they were not using binoculars, which were standard equipment on other ships. The lack of communication. Titanic was not equipped with a wireless telegraph powerful enough to send distress signals beyond the range of other ships in the area. This meant that it took several hours for help to arrive. The sinking of the Titanic had a profound impact on public opinion and led to a number of changes in maritime safety regulations. The number of lifeboats required on ships was increased, and new technologies such as radar were developed to help ships avoid icebergs. The disaster also led to a greater emphasis on safety training for crew members. The Titanic disaster remains one of the most famous maritime disasters in history. It has been the subject of numerous books, articles, films, and television documentaries. The aftermath of the disaster. The aftermath of the Titanic disaster was one filled with shock, grief, and a desperate search for answers. As news spread of the tragic sinking of the unsinkable ship, families and friends anxiously awaited any information about their loved ones who were aboard. In the days following the disaster, rescue efforts were launched to recover bodies from the icy waters. The sight of lifeless victims being brought ashore added to the heartbreak that had already engulfed so many. The enormity of this tragedy resonated around the world, as people struggled to comprehend how such a luxurious and seemingly invincible vessel could meet such a fate. Investigations into what actually happened on that fateful night began immediately. The focus turned toward understanding why there weren't enough lifeboats on board to accommodate all passengers and crew members. As survivors shared their harrowing stories, tales of heroism emerged. Crew members sacrificing their own lives to save others. Passengers helping strangers find safety amidst chaos. These acts of bravery served as small glimmers of hope in an otherwise devastating aftermath. For those who lost loved ones on board, grief became their constant companion. Memorials were erected in memory of those who perished, providing a place for healing and remembrance for generations to come. The impact didn't end with just mourning. It extended beyond into societal changes as well. Maritime laws regarding passenger safety were reevaluated worldwide, and significant improvements were made in ship design and emergency procedures. To this day, we remember the Titanic not only for its tragic loss, but also for its profound impact on our collective consciousness. It serves as a stark reminder that even man's greatest achievements can be humbled by nature's unforgiving forces. The legacy left behind by the Titanic is one that continues to captivate us, reminding us never to forget those whose lives were lost too soon and encouraging us to strive for a safer and more compassionate world. The legacy of the Titanic. The legacy of the Titanic continues to captivate and intrigue people around the world, even over a century after its tragic sinking. This iconic ship has left an indelible mark on history, reminding us of both human triumph and devastating loss. One of the lasting legacies of the Titanic is its impact on maritime safety regulations. Following the disaster, numerous changes were implemented to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. Improved lifeboat requirements, better communication systems, and stricter iceberg detection protocols all owe their existence to this fateful event. Beyond safety measures, the Titanic's legacy extends into popular culture. Countless books, films, and documentaries have been created about this historic event. The story of the unsinkable ship that met its demise in icy waters continues to capture our imaginations and fuel our fascination with this extraordinary vessel. So this was our today's video. I hope you all like it. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe the channel, and share it with your friends and family. We will be back soon with a new video. Till then, keep supporting and take care.